Hello, hello, and welcome to Rise Up Wellness. I am Erin, and I'm so excited to have you here today. I'm going to be talking all about stress and how stress impacts our health, our digestion, all that good stuff. We all know stress isn't good, right? But we happen to live in a society that actually kind of values stress in a weird way. Think of all those times that you've been with friends and they're like, oh gosh, I'm so stressed, I'm so overwhelmed. And it's like, oh, me too. What happens if you're like, oh no, I'm not stressed, like I actually feel really good? People actually probably give you kind of a weird look, right? Like, you're not stressed? What's wrong with you? Like, you're not clearly not doing something if you're not stressed. And so because of that reaction and this idea that in order to be productive and in order to be doing something, we have to be busy, busy, busy all the time and stressed all the time. But that's not how it has to be, okay? And that's not how it should be because it's not good for us. So when we're stressed, okay, I'm gonna backtrack for a minute here. I'm gonna give you all a little biology lesson, so stick with me. If you're not a science person, it won't be long, I promise. Our bodies, in our central nervous system, we have two processes or two systems. We have the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is our stress response. So when we're stressed, the system gets activated, cortisol gets released, and basically its function is to keep us alive. So you think back years, thousands of years ago when we were cave people, our sole purpose really was to just stay alive, right? So we would look for food and we would have to run away from wild animals. And if you're having to run away from a wild animal, your body's not too concerned about how it's digesting your food. It's more concerned about keeping your heart beating, your lungs pumping, your lungs functioning, I guess, and your limbs moving. So when you're stressed, when you're being chased by a bear or a tiger or something, your body takes all of its focus away from your digestion and sends it to your heart, your lungs, and your limbs so that you can run, right? And basically anything that you've eaten just kind of sits in your stomach because it doesn't care about that and it'll worry about digesting your food later. When the parasympathetic nervous system is our calm, relaxed state. So when we're not stressed, when we're at home watching TV, relaxing with our family, with friends, whatever, that's where the body's like, all right, great, now we can digest our food. We can do all of these, non-immediately essential activities, basically. Of course, digesting your food is essential to keep you alive, but it's not essential if you're being chased by a bear. So when we're stressed, even in a low state of stress, like even if you're like, oh, my stress level is just at a 2, your parasympathetic nervous system is activated and it causes you to not digest your food as well. And it's really important to get into a parasympathetic nervous system state or a relaxed state while we're eating to allow us to get the most out of our food. Now, you may be thinking, well, I'm not being chased by a bear, so it's not the same thing. Your brain can't differentiate different types of stress and danger. All it knows is that you're stressed, cortisol is released, the parasympathetic or the sympathetic nervous system is activated, and it responds in that way. That's all it knows. It doesn't know that you're stressed because you're being chased by a bear or because you're stuck in traffic or your boss is yelling at you or your kids are driving you nuts. It doesn't differentiate between any of that. All it knows is that these are the hormones that are released that indicate stress, and this is how it responds. So like I was saying, when we're stressed, when we're in this fight or flight state, when our sympathetic nervous system is activated, our food does not get digested. And if you ever had a meal where you've eaten maybe really quickly and it literally feels like it's sitting like a lump, like a brick in your stomach, that's because you're stressed. It's because you're eating in a stressed state and your body's kind of being like, I don't really care about what happens to that food right now. So it forgets about it and it doesn't digest it well. And then of course, if you're not digesting it well, you're not absorbing all of the nutrients from your food. More of it gets stored as fat because the body's like, okay, we need to hang on to fat to be able to use this into other times of stress because that's what happens. And so if you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to eat healthy, it's kind of going against your goals. Even if you had a really healthy meal, your body is not absorbing all of the nutrients from the food. It's not going to keep you fuller longer because it's not all getting absorbed into your system. So it's so important, whether you're trying to lose weight or not, it doesn't matter. It's so important to get into this relaxed state while we're eating to allow us to get the most out of our food, to feel our best, and to just lower our stress, because lowering stress is really important and beneficial regardless. Like I said, regardless of if you're trying to lose weight, it's important to make sure that your stress is managed. So a couple of tips to help you manage your stress specifically around food, okay? The first thing, and this is the most important thing, and I cannot stress this enough, if you do nothing else, do this. Before you eat, every single time you eat, take 5 deep cleansing breaths, okay? When we're stressed, our heart rate tends to be a little bit higher, our blood pressure tends to be a little bit higher, our breathing tends to be a little bit more shallow. So when we slow down and we take some nice deep cleansing breaths, it says to your brain, hang on a second, we're not stressed. It's okay, because your breathing is deeper, your heart rate is lower, everything is calmer, okay? And so even if your brain was like, whoa, we were just stressed, what's going on? It senses how you're breathing, how you're feeling, and it can activate that parasympathetic nervous system, get you into a relaxed state, which will allow you to absorb more of your food. So my favorite breath is a 5-5-7 breath. So basically what that means is you inhale for 5 counts, slowly, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? Inhale for 5 counts, hold for 5 counts, and exhale for 7, okay? So it's gotta be a slow breath. Now, obviously that wasn't 5-5-7, but I just wanted to give you a little example. It's got to be slow, and you can't rush through this, okay? The point of it is to relax you. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, I don't have time for 5-5-7 breaths. I don't have time for 5 of those. A 5-5-7 breath takes 17 seconds. Think about it. 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 7, 17 seconds. If you're telling me that you don't have 17 seconds to do even one breath, now, yes, I said 5. I know I said 5, so it's closer to like a minute and a half. If you don't have 17 seconds to do one breath or a minute and a half to do 5, you have to reevaluate your schedule and your priorities, because your health, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything, okay? You can keep pushing, you can keep going, you can keep riding that adrenaline wave. It's going to catch up with you eventually. I promise you, taking a minute and a half before each meal every day to lower your stress, absorb more of the nutrients from your food, and feel better is going to be worth whatever you think you might accomplish in that minute and a half or in that 5 minutes it ends up taking throughout the day, okay? Most of us spend more time than that mindlessly scrolling social media. I promise you, have that time. It has to be a priority for you, okay? Don't use time as an excuse. Just say to yourself, this isn't a priority for me, and see how that feels. If it feels okay, fine, okay? Maybe this isn't the place for you then, and that's fine. But if that doesn't feel good, then say to yourself, that email that I was gonna respond to, that can wait, okay? I can do this now, that can wait. So the first step is a 5-5-7 breath, okay? Or just a couple deep breaths. If you don't wanna do 5-5-7, just a couple really deep cleansing breaths where you close your eyes and you can feel your tension release, okay? The second one is chewing your food. This is so simple, you guys, but we often scarf our food down and we eat so quickly, it doesn't even give our bodies a chance to absorb the food, because we're literally shoving like whole food into our stomach, and your body has to spend so much energy breaking it down that it doesn't have energy left to absorb it. So digestion starts in your mouth. When you're chewing your food, the saliva that's excreted has digestive enzymes in it that can help start to break down your food. So it's really important to chew your food. It's also more relaxing. You're gonna enjoy it more because you're actually tasting your food more and enjoying this experience, which can help you not overeat and not eat, I was gonna say not eat too much, that's overeating, right? Because you're actually gonna get fuller quicker because you're actually enjoying your food and your body's able to absorb more of these nutrients, so it's not storing it all as fat, okay? And then the last thing is, this is kind of a little bit different, but declutter your space, okay? I am not a prime example of this. I do not live in a very decluttered space, but I'm working on it. But declutter where you're eating. So your kitchen, if you're eating in your dining room, in your living room, whatever, declutter your space. Clutter leads to a stressed mind and a stressed state. And if we are looking around our kitchen looking for something to eat and we're bombarded with all of these things, it's going to make reaching for that healthy choice harder, because it's going to get us stressed. And when we're stressed, we want something that's going to make us feel better. So we're going to reach for that cupcake or the pizza or whatever it is that makes you feel good, okay? So declutter your kitchen, allow making those healthy choices easier to make, because there's not all of this extra stimulation, and it's just, you know, a more calm environment to eat your food in if you're not surrounded by all of this stuff. Okay, so 5-5-7 breath, or any kind of deep breath, chew your food, and declutter your kitchen. Those are my 3 tips to help you reduce your stress around eating, improve your digestion, and improve your health. I hope that this was helpful for you today. I would love to hear in the comments what your biggest takeaway was from this and what you want to try to do and how you hope to have this help you in your health journey, wherever you are in that. All right. Follow me on Instagram. I am at Erin_Anderson_official. You can find me on Facebook at Rise Up Wellness Coaching. You can also check out any of my programs at riseupwellnesscoaching.com. I offer one-on-one individual health coaching sessions where we talk all about health, food, nutrition, lifestyle, habit change, all of that. So check that out. If you have any questions, I'm here. Have a great day, you guys.